Hello, fellow nerds, and welcome to Nerd Doom, where we talk about a bunch of stuff of nerd culture and provide an explosion of other topics, including video gaming, anime, just all around geek culture in general, even superheroes and comics and some of those lady nerdy things that some people like to learn too. I'm here joined by my lovely wife, Addie.
Hello.
And for first off, we wanted to talk about something that's kind of dear to our hearts, anime in general, and how specifically it's changed along the years, and how like the evolution of how it's been, and specifically today on how we were able to watch it in general. It's kind of been crazy, like how easy it's been to watch it now compared to how it was back then.
I know, like, compared to the people who were, like, from the 80s, back then they got, like, a few shows that they could watch on, depending on whatever channel they got it from, or whether it was DVD or, not DVD, back then I guess VHS. Whereas today, like, for me growing up, we had, what, Cartoon Network?
Yeah. I mean, for me, when I started out, it was nothing but basically like DVDs that my uncle gave me, or some random stuff. That's what I started off with, was really just nothing but DVD sales, at least here in the US.
So it would have been VHS sales first.
Yeah. I guess
for those of you who are too young and don't know what those are those little cassette tapes that you put into a machine and hope to God it plays correctly.
But yeah, so yeah, for me it's VHS. A lot of stuff from Manga Entertainment, things like Blackjack, Ninja Scroll. Maybe a couple other things that I don't remember. I do remember watching Ranma 1/2 on VHS before.
See, I feel like your introduction into anime started off more than I did, only because like when I was growing up, I had Cartoon Network, and on Cartoon Network you had Toonami, and if you were able to make it home in time after school, you got to watch Speed Racer, Thundercats, even though I don't know if you want to technically that. Is that Japanese anime or is that American anime?
No, that's American.
Okay,
that is Hanna-Barbera in every way.
Okay, so you get the Thundercats, and then you progressed on to Dragon Ball, and then you got Sailor Moon, and a few other random animes that I'd never really quite remembered after that.
No, yeah, I agree with that. And
I didn't even know it was anime back then. I didn't know it was called anime. I mean, to me, in my little mind, it's cartoon.
It's cartoon. At least for me, I knew it was anime, but it wasn't called like that before. We knew it as Japanimation.
Yeah, Japanimation.
Yeah,
horrible name.
Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. It was if I remember correctly, when I was first watching it on TV, it was my first like go to an anime was things like I think Toonami was kind of the start off point. Maybe somewhere on WB, or maybe on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, it's not 4Kids.
Oh, 4Kids.
Yeah, 4Kids.
Okay, so you started
Fox.
off on 4Kids.
Well, it was Cartoon Network, and then it transitioned into 4Kids when they had Monster Rancher, and Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and a few other highly edited animes. Now that I look back at them.
Right. Oh yeah, it's super edited.
Oh, they had the license for Cardcaptor Sakura for a while.
Yeah,
that was super edited.
But I mean, like, for TV, that's pretty much the only way we could know. It was either TV through Cartoon Network, WB, in some cases Sci-Fi, Stars. Stars was a big thing for me.
Well, what was another
for
one?
anything.
There was another channel later on as I got older.
Tech TV at the
was
time.
It Tech TV?
Tech TV that turned into G4. Maybe is that what you mean?
No, but G4 did play some. Yeah, I remember that. And there was another channel. They had Gungrave.
Tech TV.
That was Tech TV? Okay.
Tech TV turned into G4, which they had like an anime block.
Yeah, I remember that.
That played like two things on
like super late.
It was like an anime block at like midnight.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much all you get to watch. And it was along with like Stars, where you get to watch more of the like I wouldn't say adult, but more the animes that was for an older audience.
Right, it was geared toward older audience, whereas for us, like they're like your parents were like, you shouldn't watch that.
Yeah, like for me, that was my main way of watching Evangelion.
I never heard of that until I got into high school.
Right. But yeah, like it's weird how it's changed so far, especially since the biggest thing is the access of the type of anime that we got, the genres that we got. Because most of the time it's just like shonen anime or like shoujo, like really definitely heavily shoujo, or like Super Sentai kind of situations, or magical girl stuff.
Yeah, and of course now as we've gotten older and what's funny is we've lived through this whole process of the whole change of accessibility to these animes. We go from having watching it on TV to going, well, I want to know more. Or heaven forbid you missed an episode. How are you going to find that? So you end up going off and you're trying to download it. So you're going to download it illegally, but you download it and it's going to be poor quality, or it's just in Japanese with horrible subtitles.
I mean, yeah, in some cases. I mean, sometimes those subbers, that was a big thing in itself. That like when that was a big thing, it was just a lot of subbers that was really dedicated to subbing it correctly. Some of them of specific descent, some in some particular way that was just a huge weeaboo and just like took it very seriously, learned the language, learned the crowd, learned how they were.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was good, sometimes it was people that just purposely did it crappily on purpose.
Well, I mean, they tried. I give them credit for at least trying, but I mean, you had the downloads, and then if you didn't have the downloads, then you get YouTube, and you try to find them on YouTube, and then again, you still get bad quality, or it's strictly in Japanese, but then after a while YouTube gets the whole licensing going and says, no, you can't watch this anymore. And you can almost say the same thing for manga too.
Yeah. I mean, the type of manga wasn't as prevalent at the time, but it goes along with just a sheer popularity of manga and anime in USA. But that goes to show like the evolution of access, because like it's changed tremendously. I mean,
you can still watch anime on YouTube today, but like if you want like the clear cut good version one, you're most likely going to have to subscribe to a licensed channel, but you're also going to have to pay for that channel.
But the thing is the fact that that's even possible now is a huge thing.
It's amazing, the accessibility to it now, whereas they're making it more legal and it's not as expensive as it was before to get, whereas before you had to pay $100+ just to be able to watch it on cable or satellite.
Right. Or think about the amount of time you spend like paying for it for DVD sales, like paying 40, 50, 60,
with some really awesome things.
Well, yeah, back then it was very important to have the extra niche kind of things that came with it. All the little like sometimes in the at least when I got Lucky Star, like I got every single part of when the first season of Lucky Star, you got like a like little shirt and like some interesting things that had to do with the show, some things of that nature, which is really cool. Now you get those, but now you don't get those anymore.
No, I remember because we had Suncoast when it was still open here. I reserved a copy of the Inuyasha movies when they were coming out. And,
right.
I mean, I didn't get a t-shirt or anything, but I got a nice, dope keychain to go with it of Shishomaru and Shippo at the time. Yeah. And I was very happy just to have that.
But I think the problem with that is that it didn't help the DVD sales in the U.S.
It didn't. Like they shut down partly because of that. I mean, I'm sure there was other reasons, but
yeah, and then it goes along with some big names. There was a big U.S. like stuff that shut down. Tokyo Pop for manga that shut down. Jinyon, which was huge, brought out things like Samurai Champloo, Ego Proxy. And a couple other things I can't remember. Those was just the two that
I know. There's another one that closed down. Is it Gainax?
No. Gainax is Japan. That's an actual what we call it.
They're still around technically. I'm thinking of another one that closed down here in the U.S. that I cannot recall right now.
Who knows? But it's
so just really bad.
It's so cool. We have
editing.
but it's so cool now that we have like 10 different. Not even 10. Like I think it's like over 10 now.
There's legally. I actually have a list here. If I can get my. No, it died.
10 like
there's at least 10 legal ones that you can get in the US alone.
Okay.
But there are 22 worldwide that are like these are the top 22.
Okay.
The one you have 13 that you can legally get here in the US, and the other are mostly either Japan, UK, France, or Australia, or even Germany. And I don't know what SEA is. I apologize.
Let's say SEA.
Seattle? No.
No, that has. I couldn't tell you.
It's called iFlix. So.
iFlix? That sounds familiar. It's. I don't know.
But the top 10. Actually, I shouldn't say top 10 because there's some pretty big names on here. We've got the top number 1 right now is for Daisuki.
I was saying, and this is based on based on
the list. We have it's called www.theoasg.com.
Okay.
And it's from the Who You Can Watch Anime Legally in 2016 list.
Okay, so
we have Daisuki as number 1, MAL, MAL, number 2, Funimation at number 3.
Right.
YouTube, like I said before.
No particular rankings, or just
no,
it's just what
their list order.
Okay.
Netflix. Netflix is hit or miss because they have some old stuff on there, but then they keep stuff on there for too long.
Well, you have to think about the fact that Netflix doesn't keep all of the content all the time.
True.
Either. Like it's not like we're Crunchyroll and Daisuke and Funimation where it's there forever.
Yeah.
Like,
well, speaking of Crunchyroll, there's Crunchyroll, of course, which this is probably me being biased just because we actually have it, but I find Crunchyroll to be like hella super amazing. Sponsor us. But no, like just because like the accessibility for it and the price for it's not horrible. What, $7 for it a month?
6 or 7, somewhere along that nature. But Daisuke is just as cheap. It's $5 a month, and you get almost the same amount. I think it's
so it's
just
your personal preference, basically, like whichever one you like better.
Well, for the longest time, and when it comes to subscriptions, it's a matter of who gets what exclusives, like kind of situation, like who gets what rights and that side of situation. For the longest time, it was just Funimation,
right?
Like it was just Funimation being able to grab these collections and sell them off in the DVDs, and that was it. But now that you have all these other places that get all these rights to be able to play them and put them on a subscription, it's huge. Yeah. And now, what is it? Crunchyroll and Funimation had a agreement earlier. A partnership earlier where basically they can show each other's rights.
Yeah,
like they basically share rights in certain cases,
which is fantastic in my opinion.
Oh no, it's great.
Moving on, we have the Anime Network. That one you can get, I think, either online or you can also even get it through your satellite provider or cable provider, even if you sign up for it. It's an extra package, unfortunately.
I remember when I was a kid.
Oh my god, I wanted that so hard.
I would beg my parents to get it,
but
we realized that we couldn't get it because we had satellite dish. It was only on cable at the time. Like
eventually they moved it to
there was a special product for dish, but they weren't willing to pay for it kind of situation. But now I think it's only on cable. Like we can actually still get it now. I just saw
the advertisement for it on there this week. There's Neon Alley or Viz Anime, which is based out of Canada, if I remember correctly.
Well, yeah. Viz Media, which is Canada, and I think that's the group that has all the stuff that comes here, and they're partner with Hulu.
Okay,
that's what it is. Yeah, they're partnered with Hulu,
and that's Hulu is on the list.
Yeah, it should be those two together because what it is that Hulu does send all that out, but it's through a partnership with Neon Alley and Viz Media.
Yeah. And then there's Anime Planet.
I could be wrong. Maybe Viz Media is California, and Neon Alley is Canada. We'll make sure to put it on the description of which is which.
We'll figure it out. Anime Planet. Crackle I've heard about. I haven't heard too much, but I've heard of it in Viewster. I've heard bits and pieces.
The cool thing about Crackle is that it's free. And I don't know about their anime, but I do know Crackle itself is actually free. Like, it's so cool because Crackle is usually used for, like, if you want to watch good old movies, like stuff within the 70s and 80s, like, that's a place to go. I didn't know that they had anime in there. Recently, looking at it when we were looking at the list earlier, I realized that they kind of like had a bunch of like cooler older anime, and I think there's another one that you're about to mention that has not a lot of like classic anime in there.
Yeah, there's Viewster, and then of course Hulu again.
Yeah.
And then the last one that you can actually get in the U.S. Is U.S. or Canada, I guess, because it doesn't really specify. I want to say it's Tubi TV.
Tubi TV, yeah. That's the one that has a lot of classic anime in it. Like it's like goes really far back, and it's cool because it has like their entire series, and it's really something that's really hard to get to kind of thing that you don't get to watch anymore, which is really really cool to me. Like I would love to rewatch Technolize, which was originally on Stars. That was the only way I could find it.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here.
Isn't there one that's in Germany?
Yes. There's two that are for Germany specifically. There's Anime on Demand and My Video. It's a German word. I'm not going to even pronounce it. I'm going to butcher it. Is AU Australia or Austria?
AU's Australia.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. So, and then you've got Anime Lab and Hanabi Australia.
Anime Lab's the main one. I know that much.
Yes. France has Anime Digital Network and Wakanim.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, I'm not. It's on there. WAKANIM.
Wow.
So, and then Japan has one, surprisingly. I guess it's for like these are the people that like like they had to go to work or they're anime fans and they missed that showing.
Or this might be just the ones that they say
They
the
just
most
don't
on.
air. Yeah, so that's Niku Niku.
Okay, I know about Niku Niku.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have whoever the SEA is. It's iFlix, and that's it. I still don't know who.
We'll
SEA
figure it out at some point who SEA is.
But just the fact that like there's so many legal ways to get a hold of this anime now, I think it's actually helping these companies that are like doing the dubbing and subbing for all these animes. Because think about Funimation before, they're like, we've had too many people pirating. Well, now that you have these legal ways of getting a hold of them, and you can use I'm trying to figure out how to say this right. Channels like Netflix and Hulu, you don't have to use them specifically just for anime. You can also watch your other favorite TV shows or movies that you may have not seen yet. So those are more accessible. And in fact, having these networks, it's almost putting cable out of business. Almost.
Oh yeah. Like I think the biggest thing I got out of it is that it's one of the main factors of what saved the import business for America, at least. For anime, but just because of the fact that again all we had was DVD sales, and the rise of piracy in anime at the time. I think it was like the early 2000s.
It was partly. I think partly it was because like these networks and companies that couldn't keep up with the demand, and you have people that are like, yeah, I really like things like Bleach or Fullmetal Alchemist or these other shoujos and shonens, but I want something else, and you're not giving it to me, and there's no other way I can get it except for to pirate it.
Well, yeah,
or you're not giving it to me fast enough.
And yes, but I think it's also the fact. I think it's also the fact that people thought, oh man, well, I'm gonna miss this episode at this point, and so people just got to the point where they just want to binge watch the episode, or they just want to make sure they can actually just watch it all in a good sitting. And the fact that people just stopped buying DVDs because they were like, oh well, no one feels like spending 60 I think at the time it was like almost $60
depending on which one you got. Set.
There was a lot that was like close to that amount. Like,
yeah.
Like
though I usually end up getting the most expensive one I ever got was the Conqueror of Shambhala for the Fullmetal Alchemist movie and this was the special edition one at roughly $50.
Oh yeah.
And I mean it was pretty cool. I still have it.
No,
it's a great movie. But
I can look right behind you and probably see
my collection.
I can probably see about half of my collection and understand that I spent probably in that alone, and it's a lot less than it used to be before. It's about $2,000 worth of stuff when I first bought it.
I'm gonna pull off my little special thing here, and so you got the special edition 2-disc set from Funimation, and you pull it out. It has a nice little case, and you can open it like a book. And my DVD popped out. You got the DVD, and then you got this cool little art book that goes through and it kind of tells you information about all the scenes and like where they're coming from and how they came up with them. And you got this cool little holographic piece that you can use, and then they even have postcards. Like they give you a little collection of postcards that you can like either hang up or do whatever with. And of course, me being the nerd and weeaboo, I'm like, it must be in perfect condition. Don't do anything with it. So I mean, that was about $50, give or take, at the time. True. Now you can probably get this set for $30 if you can even find it still.
Okay. I don't know. I spent quite a bit of flipping money.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Stuff. Like I think like when I first bought anything that has to do with the singles that's in there, it's probably like the Genshiken ones. That was probably the cheapest. One of the cheaper ones. In all, like it was first season. It was about $20 a piece.
Didn't one of them come with a manga though? It came with the manga.
No, Kujibinki came with the manga.
Okay.
The sound off the anime that was very focalized in the Genshiken anime. Even though I love the manga way more, and I have the full manga too. But yeah, it's really cool to have access like that, especially since now, like when there used to be really, really cool box sets at the time. And
I mean, there still are some today, but I feel like
no, but like
there wasn't as good as they used to be. In my opinion.
There wasn't like box sets that had like specialized things that make you get excited for it. Like hey, thanks for buying it. Here's a little toy that has something to do. Like Lucky Star had the small little like bread food plushie that was really cool, and it was like fun to get at. But now we get to have other types of boxes that kind of give us something like that in general.
Now here's the thing though, do you think it's because people's taste have changed from I want an object in my hand that goes along with this box set, or do they want more of the behind the scenes stuff? Because I'm seeing a lot of these DVDs and Blu-rays coming out now with more behind the scenes stuff, with either a gag reel or commentaries from the voice actors or directors of these shows, even some guest voice actors from like Japan and stuff.
I don't know. I would say that the reason why the extra materials that came in the box sets was just because the DVD sales wasn't good. I don't think it has a lot to do with how the consumer was about it. Like, I think the sales itself told a lot more than it was. It was like, here, we're trying to do something to get you really in there, and they're just like, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna buy that. Like, I don't feel like spending like the $50 to $60. Even though now you can get a box set for like $40, and which is amazing.
Not horrible. Excuse you.
Yeah. But now again, we now can have that feeling again by opening these lovely
mystery boxes.
Yeah, the mystery, like the lovely subscription mystery boxes that we get, which is loads of them now. Like when we were first interested in them, we only knew
Loot Crate, and they did mostly.
Well, we only knew of Loot Crate. There was stuff way before Loot Crate. There was things like Nature Box and like.
Well, those are food. I'm talking about like Geek Wide. For Geek, no. These mystery boxes, there's more than just one type. Obviously, you've got the foodie ones, and now you've got the geeky ones, where they range from anime to video games, comic books, and
to even books.
Stuff.
There's a bookworm one called Book of the Month.
I don't know how I feel about that because I'm so picky about my books.
Yeah, but you only like things like mystical beast and fantasy and stuff. So
fantasy sci-fi.
Yeah, but so like it'd be hard for you to like want to.
No, I have read a few non-fictional books because I'm a history nerd, and those were really good as well.
Right.
But no, like the ones that we've personally gotten that we can actually like be like, yeah, are the Loot Crates, and we've heard about the Akibento ones. That's one of the fairly new ones that's come out for anime.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been. I think it started in like 2012, but I can't remember.
I don't remember. The pricing
around the same time as Loot Crate anime.
Yeah, pricings vary depending on which one you get. Loot Crates, I think, a little bit more popular just because the pricing on them is a little bit more reasonable to some people. Whereas, like with Akibento, you're looking at nearly $30.
I don't know. Like at least for Loot Crate itself is $15 a month. And that's just the regular, like, kind of mixed in stuff. But, like,
then it changes to you got, like, Loot Anime, and you got Loot Gaming, Loot... Yeah. What else?
Well, yeah, and then there's plenty of companies that also has that. Like, Nerd Block, that's based in Canada, is just like Loot Crate, but from Canada.
Yeah.
Like, they have an anime version, they have a gaming version, they have a Doctor Who box now. They, I mean, they have all these have all these niche products that they're gonna put in there. And I think it's just based on like who they talk to and who they get exclusive rights to be able to put in there. Like,
I'm gonna list off a few that I'm seeing on here. These were 5 mystery boxes that were reviewed recently in 2016 last year. Some of them actually made me laugh because I'm like, what? You have at number 5 that they've reviewed was Wet Shave Club, which is like the old style fashion. You got a bristle brush and the shaving cream that you brush onto your face.
That's like the like if you had Dollar Shave Club, except you're a true gentleman.
And they charge about $30 for that whole stuff, which it looks really cool if you're that kind of person and you kind of like the old fashioned shave.
Right.
The next one made me laugh, and at the same time I'm intrigued. The Carnivore Club. Carnivore
do I get to be a dino? Like,
no, it's basically a, let's see here, for $55 you get a box of meat.
Oh, straight up, just
a box of meat. And it's different cured meats, and you can try them. And so basically, if you like those cheese and meat plates that you get at like fancy bars, you would probably like this.
Well, the way they packaged up. I wonder if it's like, when it says carnivore, I wonder if it's like meat and cheese, or is it like, I'm a man and I want to like throw this on the grill, like kind of thing.
No, just straight up meat is what I'm looking at.
Okay.
The other one just makes me laugh because like there might be some people who are like straight up doomsday people, but they're also like, you know what, this stuff's actually pretty good. The prepper gear.
The prepper gear?
Yeah, like
is that like
for like the survivalist people?
Oh, okay. So do I get like a hatchet and like?
It says a prepper gear box contains 3 items to help you overthrow your local government depending on your needs.
Whoa! So a militia box? Is that what you're trying to call it? That is so weird to call it. Like say that.
I don't know how I feel about this. Shh! I didn't say anything. Don't get this.
That sounds hilarious.
It's so stupid.
Okay, yeah. I need you to take in the box. We're gonna throw in the local militia. Amendment 2, right?
No. I'm all for like getting prepped up. Like, if there's that kind of thing, I can understand. Like, if you're like, okay, I'm in an area that can be hit by natural disasters, and I want stuff that I can prepare for that.
Or zombie apocalypse.
Or zombie apocalypse, if you're that paranoid. Moving on, we've got number 2. This one I think just encompasses. This one's a specific one called Sci-Fi Block. And that goes with the block.
I think that's Nerd Block's Sci-Fi Block.
Yeah. So that just kind of encompasses like the whole Loot Crate thing as well. So that's that geeky.
Yeah, that's
nerdy.
super sci-fi though. Like it like goes real hard. Like Battlestar Galactica,
Star
Trek, Star Wars,
Doctor Who, Futurama.
I was like, there's some real niche stuff in there.
Oh yeah, and it's all great. It's just, again, depends on how much you want to spend. And then if you're someone that's like, I just want a nice T-shirt, they've got T-shirt blocks. Again, same company. Just it's specifically graphic T-shirts.
Yeah, I think they work with another company that provides those T-shirts. But those T-shirts are so cool to look at.
Yeah. Now, as cool as all of these are,
what about BarkBox?
BarkBox. Now, if you're a true dog or a cat lover, there's a cat box as well.
Like, you have to be really obsessed with your animal for some of the stuff that they put in those boxes.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen, like, what they put in there, and I'm just like... I mean, it'd probably be great for people that actually has cats and dogs that actually, I don't know, move. Like,
they
not
move.
1 mile an hour.
Ours move occasionally.
I mean...
It depends on what breed you get. But, like, with all these boxes, like, regardless of what kind you get, it can be hit or miss. Like, you can get that box. Like, they'll tell you, this is the theme that this month box is going to be, but it can be hit or miss on what objects you get into.
But I think that's the cool part. Was because every one of these subscriptions makes it super easy for you to not have to pay it for that month or cancel it or even skip a whole month. Like, Loot Crate Anime allows us to skip a month if we just didn't want to have it. We were like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling a One Piece theme kind of thing the whole time. Like, it's nice to get that notion that, like, oh, I have the complete choice of being like, I don't feel like having it today. And I think the scariest part is that the actual economy of the boxes is just insane. Like,
and the boxes are cool too themselves. At least with Loot, I don't know if the other boxing companies do this either, but Loot Crate, what they'll do is the inside of their boxes can actually be bent and poked out holes and stuff to turn into something different. Like, they had a space theme one recently, and you could actually flip the box inside out and make it a spaceship.
Oh wow, that's some shit.
Yep.
Oh wait, it's right behind me.
Yes, it is. It's not made, but it's sitting there.
It'll happen.
And
eventually.
they did one for a video game version as well, where you could turn it into like the 2D platform looking.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool things that they do with it. I think the biggest thing I got out of it is how much money it's been going through, or how many people has been actually doing it. So like according to some studies and some people looking into it, the actual like amount of people that get into it is just insane. Like. Last year it was 472,000 people that was visiting like subscription box sites in general. Now it's like 2.1 million like a month that's doing this, and like the age range is the weirdest thing for me.
It really is, but it's again, I think it's hit or miss on what comes out of it. And for us, it's beneficial because I find something I like, you find something you like out of the box.
Right.
And that way nothing goes to waste. And if something we really, both of us are legitimately like, we don't like this, and we are like, we know exactly who would like this, and we end up giving it to them because we know they'll appreciate just as much as we do.
Yeah, but I think we should answer, I think we should have an opinion on what is the reason why subscription boxes are so popular now. Especially now
that mystery of what am I going to get? Because again, they'll tell you the theme, but they're not going to tell you what you're going to get. Like, they told you the one that you recently got that you were all in about, which I was completely fine with, was had Psycho Pass in it and a few other animes that you
were
really
right, because I got the cool Awesome Annihilator gun.
Yeah, they had in the box they had an Annihilator USB drive. and where it opens up like the Annihilator does, but it's the USB plugin.
So cool.
And then they're getting a little bit better now that actually some of them have mangas in them.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I thought was interesting, that some, if not a lot of things, has these really cool, like, ideas in them. Like, they'll be like, either the box is different, or they just straight up put up something that you can't get anywhere else. Like, an exclusive manga. Like, one of these I got the first light novel for Log Horizon, which the anime was based off, which is one of my favorite, like, I can't remember the actual name. Isekai genre, like, anime. Like, I really love the boy gets thrown into a fantasy world kind of situation. But it's one of my favorites because it's so good, it's so great, it goes through all the things that I love about an actual RPG kind of thing. But the fact that they give a book, like, that is, in no cases, like a $10 purchase.
$10, $12 really cool. Depending on which one it is.
Yeah.
One of the other boxes we got Clockwork Planet, though it's from the creators of No Game No Life. The series itself, the anime's not my
anime
favorite.
Shit.
The manga itself has potential. We didn't read very far into it because, again, it was a free manga, and it didn't catch our interest enough to go. I
honestly have a hard time carrying, but that's it's. A
I appreciate that they're like, here's something new, and it's not always a manga. Like, you got a really cool case for Black Lagoon in the last one too,
right?
And I got Ein out of another one. From Cowboy Bebop.
But I will say this. I think personally what I believe the reason why it's so popular now is that it makes waiting for mail fun again. Especially in these days where most people are within our age is just kind of just dredging what's coming in the mail, just waiting for another bill to come through. Waiting for someone to tell you, hey, we have a credit card for you. Yeah,
You're pre-approved. No,
I'm pre-approved for like 400 different credit cards that don't actually mean anything. Or like something really dumb like someone telling someone something about insurance or something of that nature. It's nice to have something that's like a package that you're like, oh man, I want, like, that you don't know what's going to be in it.
And it's partially useful. Again, it really depends on which one you get. Because we're nerds like that. We're like, oh my god, yes. Now there's the snack box one where that one I think actually you can customize though.
Right. The snack box is cool, but there's also like things like the 4-5 Club or I think there's a more popular one, like I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like a bunch of like nice alternative like stuff, like ties and socks and stuff. There's even a sock box that I thought was amazing. I was like, oh my god, socks.
There's what's that food one? Blue Apron or one similar?
Blue Apron's my favorite, but there's like crap
I would get that just to try like the new foods, but unfortunately we're both picky in our own way, so I don't know if we'd actually.
I don't know. Blue Apron might be the one that make me like not get into it because most of their stuff they come in with is like really really cool and like stuff that I actually want to try and put into the food and stuff of that nature. Like I don't have an issue with tomatoes. I just have an issue with eating tomatoes by itself.
And I don't like tomatoes unless it's ketchup or red sauce. No, the mystery boxes are good. Like I said, the most reason people are getting into them is, one, they're getting a load of gear and stuff for a fairly reasonable price, because you're getting a close to almost, depending on which one you get, $60 worth of items. Right. Plus, for the price of just a subscription.
I do know, like, the last box we got from Loot Anime is probably about $40 to $35 worth of stuff. Like, we got 4 coasters that was from Black Lagoon. I think the theme was brutal, if I remember correctly. Yes. Yeah, it was brutal. So it was themed upon Attack on Titan, Black Lagoon, and a couple other animes that I didn't think about, but definitely was stuff that is along my alley because I love those psychological thrillers or very brutal and realistic animes like Berserk. Oh yeah, Berserk was part of it, but I didn't care because it was based off the movies. Never mind. So that's fine. As long as it's not the 2017 show, it's cool.
It's okay.
But anyways, it came with 4 coasters, a ammo box that was designed for Black Lagoon, which was really cool. A like pen like thing that was like very like how the scouts had it in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's a little notepad and pen.
It's a notepad and pen. I've learned that the pencil you have to sharpen yourself because it's completely square.
Still cool.
I'm too lazy to work with that, so it's probably going to just sit there. And the usual poster. Petty. Yeah, and the usual poster and a usual like key charm that has like a cute little girl that's just dressed up in different ways.
No, depending on the box, you can either get a big item like the ammo tin with the coasters, T-shirt, or even a manga or a light novel.
I think the favorite part I get out of Loot Anime is particularly is the T-shirts, just because they're really nice T-shirts.
They're really nice. I think we got the No Game No Life one I got was.
We had No Game No Life, which was one of them. That was
a really good Ghost in the Shell one.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell was one of my favorites. Just because I'm obsessed with Ghost in the Shell, and I really love. And it was the one that was based off the new movies, new TV show. But they were really, really good, and I really loved that version because it still captured everything that's supposed to be there with a modernized feeling. There was there was a couple potholes, but nothing's perfect. Everything has its sense.
The whole remake thing in another session, but,
right?
Or not remake, but
no remakes. That's actually correct. This was the movies were the T-shirt was based off the movies and not the U.S. Hollywood movie, huh?
Yeah, we'll save that for another time.
No, they were remakes. They were definitely remakes of the series because it's based on the beginnings of how she started. So, but other than that, I mean, subscription boxes are great, and I'm super excited how anime goes along in its way, especially since we have so much easy access. Yeah. I mean, we're going through like 7 or 8 different anime right now.
Help us.
Which right now we need to catch up on.
We're like what, an
My
episode
Hero
behind on most of them?
Most of them, but My Hero Academia, we're right there. We just have to watch it.
Yeah. That's another thing I'm really enjoying about this is, in my opinion, this is what I really enjoy about having these subscriptions. Like, if you have an anime that's currently only exclusive to Japan, like it's never been dubbed over here in America yet, or never will be, they simulcast them on the same day they air in Japan. It'll pop up on your feed on Crunchyroll or hopefully any other subscription that you have. Most of them do that, so that's nice. So you can have that feeling of I'm watching it the same day they did. Right.
I think it's so cool that subscriptions in general has brought along a new terms of like expandability in the market
and accessibility to everything.
And in the market it's just huge. It's so great when you allow more access to something, it becomes more popular. Really, that sounds like
good marketing and business to me.
Yeah, it's called utilitarian, but it's whatever. No one has issues with that. But
watch someone do it.
But that's the end of our time for today. Thank you for listening to us here at Nerd Doom. Get ready for another explosion next week when we talk about some other things that may come up. Who knows?
You never know.
And for now, my name is Mike, and I'm here with Addie.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Bye.